And here we go. Hello there, everybody. This is General Snivy, and welcome back to more of the Final Fantasy VIII playthrough. In today's session, we are going to party like it's 19 motherfrickin' 9. As in the last session, we learned about the world and everything that is within Final Fantasy VIII pretty much. There is still one more thing I still need to explain, but we'll be getting into that momentarily. No, I have not gotten Super Mario Party yet, but I do plan to do so. Just, not anytime soon. I hear that it's pretty good, but still not as good as the older Mario Party games, but even so. Let's go ahead and get changed. And I also just realized I forgot to make a backup save, so maybe before we start I can, yep, I can still do this, thank God. There we go. Hey, looking good. Thanks. Alright, let's hit that party! That sounds like a grand idea. I wonder what they're serving here at this party. That's good. I'm glad that you really like Super Mario Party. It does look fun, and I'm definitely interested in possibly checking it out in the near future. Yo! Sup, Squall? I guess we're both seed now, huh? Put her there, man. He's like, screw you. Even as a seed, you're still the same. Well, that's typical of you. See ya. Oh, hey, Zell. Want to join the Garden Festival Committee and... Sorry, I just remembered something. Gotta go. See ya. Squall, hi. Want to join the Garden Festival Committee? You can help out whenever you have time. Please? Sure, I guess so. Sure, you seem to be putting a lot of effort into this. Really? Woohoo! I know we'll be busy with a lot of seed stuff, but let's work hard on the Garden Festival too. Bye! See you later, Selfie. By the way, when playing back the previous stream recording, I noticed that the game audio overthrew my voice throughout the majority of the stream, with the exception of the more silent moments. So, to help remedy this, I tried to lower the game volume quite significantly from what I had set previously. So, if you're able to hear the game volume and me at a decent balance, let me know. Or if there's any additional adjustments that need to be made, let me know as well. You're the best looking guy here. Dance with me? Let me guess, you'll only dance with someone you like. Okay then. Look into my eyes. You're going to like me. You're going to like me. Ooh, did it work? I can't dance. You're not alone, Squall. I can't dance either. I practically have 2 left feet. You'll be fine. Come on. I'm looking for someone I can't be on the dance floor alone. Sure thing. Okay, welcome to the most awkward scene in all of Final Fantasy VIII, the dance sequence. For many people, this is the most memorable scene in the entire game, and I could definitely see why. Recently, I found out there was a behind-the-scenes video for motion capturing of Final Fantasy VIII when it was in development. It was pretty interesting and fun to watch people dance in what looks like a costume infested with balls, but those balls are actually used for like motion capture. So it's quite interesting to see how the whole motion capture thing works, and even so, to this very day, motion capture is still used in many games. And I'm not too sure if this one was like the first to introduce motion capture as far as a concept, but there were probably some other games before this that also used motion capture, but I could be wrong. But either way, motion capture is very expensive, and it still is very expensive to this very day. In fact, it's probably gotten a lot more expensive than it did back in the day. But even so, it was still impressive to see, and I highly recommend looking up that behind-the-scenes video. I don't have an exact link of where it is, but even so, I figure I'd throw it out there anyway. Anyway, that was a fun dance. Now we just stare off into the night. You really are an excellent student. Even that dance was perfect. Thank you. Wow, he actually said something and complimented someone. Who knew? Yes. So you'll dance with someone you don't even know, but you can't stand being around me? Whatever. Squall's catchphrase, I swear. You're an instructor and I'm your student. It's kind of awkward when you don't say anything. Well, funny thing is, he's not wrong. That's true. I was like that myself. Oh, I completely forgot. I wonder what's to become of me. What do you mean? I've come to give you an order. An order? You and I are to go to the secret area. It's where students secretly meet up and talk after curfew. It's inside the training center. You'll want to do what? What do you want to do in there? Are we going there to tell everyone they're violating curfew? If that's the case, forget it. Leave that to the disciplinary committee. Go get changed and meet in front of the training center. This will be my last order. Last order? What are you talking about? Question? What do you mean last order? Well, I have a lot on my mind. A lot on your mind, eh? I wonder what she actually does have on her mind. So many questions racing through one's head right now. Get changed to meet at the training center. What's this all about? Guess we'll do as she asked and figure this out for ourselves as we go ahead and do what she says, head to the training center, and figure out what's up with Quistis and why she's acting like this. And what does she mean by last order? Well, there is one more thing that, oops, I selected the wrong slot. Again, I nearly overwrote my, other save, which I was going to go into right now. The other save I have here is a, practice playthrough. Since I didn't stream yesterday, I figured, last night would be a good idea to instead use that time to do a sort of practice playthrough of this game. And oddly enough, I've gotten a better score for my seed exam in the practice playthrough than I did here. And I've also learned a couple more things too. First off, when it comes to the running away from that mechanized spider thing, it is possible to destroy it, but you can't destroy it on your first encounter. You must run from it on your first one. If you happen to get forced into another fight against the mechanized spider, from the second fight onward, it is possible to destroy the thing. It just requires a lot of patience and ton of power, ton of strength, and also spamming GFs like freaking crazy. Like, holy crap. There is so much that you need to take into account that's not even funny. And basically, my method of madness for destroying the mechanized spider in my practice playthrough, I spammed Squall's limit break like no other. I am serious. It was spammed like crazy. I spammed it. Spam, spam, spam. Man, I love being able to do it. Spamming a limit break itself is a risk versus reward kind of thing, as the character is very close to dying when you have the opportunity to unleash a limit break, but trust me, the risk versus reward is well worth your time. Squall, I was just wondering, have you fought T-Rexer in the training center? I'm not sure. Can't say I have. Can't say I haven't. You can defeat it quite easily by using Status J. Let's go over status changes in the tutorial. Status junctioning explained. By junctioning a GF with status junction ability, as magic is junctioned, the ST-A/D slot above HP turns white, indicating a status junction. Press left on the D-pad here twice to see the status junction screen. Status junction works the same way as elemental junction. First, select the stat to junction. Then select the magic to complete the junction. However, magic with no status change like fire cannot be junctioned. Status junction affects attack and defense differently. Junctioning to stat-attack gives that status chance to attack. The status change probability is indicated in percentage. In the example, there's a 90% chance of afflicting an enemy with darkness. 100% is the maximum value, but there are enemies who may not be affected even with 100% status attack. Junctioning to status defense reduces the probability of status change. Possibility is displayed in percentage. No status change will occur at 100%, so you would be completely immune, for the most part. In the example, the effect of sleep attack is reduced by 80%. However, depending on the enemy attack, status change may still occur at 100%. You can junction multiple magic types on stack-defense, depending on the GF's ability. Some magic, like Isuna, will defend against multiple status changes. Try junctioning different magics to check the effect. Select Auto to junction the most effective status magic automatically. Well, use a sleep attack against T-Rexer. Just junction sleep onto your status attack-J and attack. Come on, let's go to the secret area. It's just inside the training center. However, it is still a ways inside the training center, and as they mentioned before, the training center does have real monsters in there, so you can't hold back no matter what. So in other words, you have to unleash everything that you got. Anyway, let's see what we got here going on. I think everything's pretty good here. Yep. Alright, let's go. Let's head into the training center and head to the secret area. Welcome to the training center. This is the only place that's open at night, and the only place you can actually go to. And the reason why is because people tend to train at night as opposed to waiting at the daytime. During the day, who knows. I'm not too sure why this place is opened only at night, but whatever. Doesn't really make much of a difference to me. So, within the training center, you'll typically find these strange-looking plants. These plants, along with another kind of enemy, and the T-Rexer as well. Okay, now let's go over card. How does this work? Well, if it doesn't completely miss like that. Anyway, how this is supposed to work is, after you deal enough damage to an enemy, you have a chance of possibly turning that enemy into a card if you use the card command. If you do this, you won't receive experience from that enemy, but you will gain that particular card and add it to your card collection. What's more is, if you're planning on going for a low-level run, then using the card command is a godsend. Yeah, man. What a time to fall asleep. Oh man, that sucks. So, there is another thing that's worth noting too, and that is, during the escape sequence, if you do run from when you're running from the spider, if you manage to destroy the thing, then the dog won't need to be rescued at all. It'll automatically be saved. So you don't need to worry about that. But upon destroying the mechanized spider, you still have to race to the shore. And there are still random encounters from regular soldiers. So, yeah. There are still regular soldiers trying to stop you in every opportunity they can. Also, say hello to the T-Rexer! This is a pretty dangerous enemy. And he can seriously destroy you if you are not careful and are completely careless. As you can see, he did some serious damage just from a single little attack. Like, holy crap, did you see that? Okay, let's try casting Thunder. Man, it seems like the card command is not working so well for me in this file. I'm not sure why. Usually card is a pretty damn good spell. It's just for whatever reason it's not working so well here. Perhaps I'm not weakening it enough or something? Or maybe it's just the fact that Quistis is not the... Okay, never mind. There's the card. The T-Rexer. T-Rexer has now been turned into a card, and we can just simply walk away. The whole reason why you would want to do a low-level run is so you can, so that way no one would receive any experience, and your enemies also don't grow any stronger if you're not stronger yourself. So that is one way of looking at things. So anyway, let's head into the secret area. By the way, this is the only time in the entire game when you'll be able to do this. And even so, you can't really do much of anything here except experience cutscene land. I haven't been here for a while. Me either. Well, technically speaking, that's not true, but still. Just saying. Also, get used to sitting here for quite some time. Takes about 30 seconds before the first conversation initiates and begins. What time is it? please. It's after midnight. Oh, well. Oh, well. What do you mean? Please explain. I, Quistis Trip, am no longer an instructor as of now. I'm a member of SEED now, just like you. Who knows, maybe we will end up working together. I wonder why this is. Is your instructor license thing only active for 1 year? Is it provisional? Who knows? Oh, really? Is that all you're going to say? If that's how it was decided, you have to abide by it. Oh, good grief. When are we going to deal with you, Squall? They told me that I failed as an instructor. Basically, that I lacked leadership qualities. I honestly disagree. I think you're a fine leader. I was a SEED by the age of 15, got my instructor license at 17. It's only been a year since I got it, so essentially you're 18 years of age. Interesting. I wonder where I went wrong. I did my best. Are you listening? Are you done yet? I don't want to talk about it. What am I supposed to say about other people's problems? I'm not asking you to say anything. I just want you to listen. Then go talk to a wall. Ooh, damn, Squall. Harsh. Aren't there times when you want to share your feelings with someone? Everyone has to take care of themselves. I don't want to carry anyone's burden. No one but your own. Just being a true lone wolf for all of time. No leadership qualities. Failed instructor. Perhaps they're right. I wouldn't say that. It's more like the mindset of the students and the individuals at the time of when you even started teaching in the first place. Some people are just that crazy effed up in the head. And no matter what, you may not be able to change them, no matter how hard you try to change them. If they can't help themselves, then they will never change. And as I said, you can't go into the secret area anymore as of this moment. So even though there's a clear path here, an invisible wall is formed. So that kind of sucks. So anyway, now that we are a SEED member, we also have the opportunity to raise our SEED rank. So there are two major ways of raising your SEED rank. The first is performing admirably in battle, so in other words, don't run, fight to your last breath, and do your best to fight and defeat every enemy you encounter. Whether by means of actually defeating them in a war of attrition, or by turning them into cards, or doing something else with them. Either way, as long as you win the fight, that's all that matters. The other way is by going into tutorial and going into test. You can take a written test to raise your SEED rank. And how the test system works is once you become a SEED, you will be able to take the SEED written tests. There are 30 tests in all. However, you can only take whatever number of tests there are up to Squall's level. So, say for example, Squall is level 16. Well, you can only take the written test up to number 16. And the only way to take, the only way to get to a higher level, the only way to get to a higher level test is to raise Squall's level. So, yeah. Anyway, let's check out the first test. All tests are 10 questions. They typically ask you yes or no, and some of these are actually true or false. Despite some of these questions being true or false, they still say either yes or no. Yes is true, no is false in those scenarios. So let's see how we do here. Draw command extracts magic from enemies. Yes, it does. That's a no. That's a false. It stands for Guardian Force. 8 elemental attributes. Yes. Higher strength stat causes higher physical damage. Duh. Junction ability. Yes, it is. Can't assign abilities to your GF to learn. False. Magic uses MP. That doesn't exist, so that's false. You can name your GF. Yes, you can. You can wear protective gear. This always throws me off. I can't tell if that's a yes or no, so I'm going to say no. GF level up with AP. No. Alright, first try. So anyway, in order to pass a written test, you have to score perfect. And I mean perfection. 100 goddamn %. If you get any less, like 80, 90, or whatever, you fail. It's not like school, where you can still pass if you get a good enough grade, like say 60%, which is like roughly a D. But even so, not in this game. It's 100% or nothing. Thankfully, you're not penalized for failing the written test. You just have to go out about it again. And what's even worse is it doesn't even tell you what questions you got wrong. You just have to experiment and figure out what questions relate to what. And you can choose to review these if you want, but there's not really much of a point in doing this. You just take the test again and just retest your abilities. Let me see if we can do this one. Raise your vitality by junctioning magic. I don't know if you can or not. So I'm going to say yes. Gauntlet, no. It's the gun blade. Stock, draw magic, yes you can. Any action, I don't know. Yes. No, because that's his limit break begins with an R and not a K. Junction magic, blah 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 blah. Junction ability, yes it does. That's false. No limit. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually managed to pass that. On my first try again. That has given me so much frickin' trouble. You have no idea during my practice playthrough. So we're almost up to as high as what the practice playthrough seed rank initially started. Well, actually, it is as high as that. But anyway, I did find out what the highest rank you can receive for a seed rank during your field exam. And it ranges from 1 to 10. That's as high as it goes. But your seed rank can, of course, be raised by means of fighting a lot of enemies, winning every fight, and not running away from battle, and also fighting a certain number of enemies, or just keep fighting in general. Alright, let's take the level 3. Let's see what we got. Potions can restore GF's HP. That's false. Magic can only be acquired by drawing from enemies. False. Selfie's weapon is the nunchaku. I'm gonna say yes. Only need money to remodel your weapons. That's false. Whoever strikes the finishing blow in battle receives the most experience. I think this is true because Cypher was saying, yeah, this is what you need to do. Save it for me! GF also have levels. The higher their level, the stronger their attacks. Yes. This signifies a command ability. That I'm not too sure. I'm going to say yes. Each party member can have up to 5 characters and party abilities. No. Command abilities must be set to be used in battle. Yes. AP means action point. No. Holy crap! I am breezing through these exams. I guess reading them aloud really helps. Alright, let's see how far we can go before we stop. Only Squall can use Gunblade. That's false. Attack magic can be used against party members. Yes, it can. There is an ability that allows you to make magic from items. Yes. Higher vitality reduces physical damage. I don't know. I'm going to say yes. Blue magic is learned by being attacked by a monster. I don't think so. The magic Dispel cures poison. It would be awesome if that was the case. If you are KO'd with status change, but are revived after battle, the status change is removed. I don't think so. I don't think it works that way in this game. T-Rexer is a monster that lives in Balam Gardens Training Center. Yes, that's true. Squall's Gunblade causes more damage by pressing select at the right time. No, that's false. You can stock up to 255 of each magic. False. Ah, goddammit. Failed. We got one question wrong out of the entire set. I'm gonna go one more time. Only Squall can use the Gunblade. You know what, I'm just gonna say yes and see what happens. Yes. Yes. Higher vitality. Yes. No. No. False. Yes. No. No. Okay, that was even worse. So, if you have no idea how to go about this, or just really want to go through these exams, look up the answers online. It's pretty easy to do. And I managed to find the answers that I'm looking for on the Final Fantasy Wikia. Just search Seed and you should be able to find the answers to all 30 quizzes and each corresponding answer. So let's take on level 4 and let's see. No. Yes. 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 No. No. Interesting. Yes. Nope. And no. There we go. Up to rank 12. I can keep going as far as level 15. So if I want to continue increasing my seed rank, I can do that. But I think I'm just going to keep this for now. I may show off more quizzes and like something else. Or I may just do more in the next session. I don't know. But anyway, we're pretty much done here. Now we just need to make our way back to the entrance of the training center and we should be all set. Just as long as we can make it alive, of course. Otherwise, we may be in a bit of trouble. Ow! Jerk. Okay, this is probably not gonna work. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm not really too sure what the percentage is for card and its effect. Not sure what the actual percentage is, so the general rule of thumb is the weaker the enemy is, the more likely you can turn them into a card. There are some enemies out there, such as the Galbadian soldiers, who cannot be turned into cards, because they are human. Excuse me. However, it is possible to acquire them as cards by different means. So, oops, I meant to just heal Quistis. Not necessarily Squall. Oh well. Still a good idea to heal him every now and again. I kind of wanted to keep Squall at like a lower HP, so that way I could possibly set up a strategy of spamming the limit break for Squall. Somebody help! Come on, Squall! Oh dear. Someone's in danger. Squall! Squall! Quitzy? Who are you? And who is this freaking bug creature? Well, either way, say hello to our next mini-boss of sorts and his 3 friends. Okay, so if I have this down, we have the pretty one, the stupid one, and the one with weird powers. That's basically that. So, general rule of thumb is, if you really want to breeze through this relatively quickly, you can just simply use your GFs and just unleash the pain. And honestly, it's a good idea to unleash all the power that you can possibly get when it comes to boss fights. Regular enemies, you kind of want to use your own strength. And there is a reason for this, which I will be getting into momentarily as I completely screw that up. Damn it. Because of that, unfortunately, the attack power of this is reduced, which is bad. Should still be enough to at least finish off no one. Fantastic. I am so happy. Definitely gonna want to hold on to gather as many blinds as I can. Especially for another sort of boss fight coming up very soon. Trust me, there's a reason I'm doing this. There's a reason for my madness. Oh shoot, I targeted myself. Dang it. Sometimes distinguishing who's the target and who's a friendly can be a bit of a pain because of the screen orientation. Thankfully, if you accidentally attack yourself, you typically don't do too much damage, at least at this stage of the game. Just try not to do it too often, otherwise you will die. You would be very likely to get yourself killed. Okay, 16 windstones. Awesome. You okay, ma'am? It is not safe here. Please, let's go. Alright. Why the hell didn't you guys show up earlier? And why was she even here in the first place? Who was that? She was the girl of my dreams. Not really. She's more like the girl who just randomly showed up from the infirmary at the very beginning of the game. But why is she here now, of all times, nobody knows. Squall, it's not like everyone could get by on their own, you know? Says who? Nice one, Squall. Anyway, since that's done and over with, let's go ahead and head back to our dorm and get some well-deserved rest and get ready for our first big mission. Finally, there you are. Where the hell were you? I was looking all over the place. We're both now members of Seed, right? Well, guess what? We got our own rooms, baby! Woo! Your new room's right across the hall from your old one. That's why I was asked to tell you. Man, it took me forever. Interesting. Your new room's right across the hall from your old one. So despite this, going back to your dorm this way just takes you to your new room automatically. So you don't need to go searching and fumbling around just to find your dorm. I'll just go to sleep. Indeed, you definitely deserve some well-deserved rest. Excuse me. It's 2 a.m. and I want food. Let me sing you the song of my people. Loudly. Squall, it's our first seed mission. Looks like we're going to Timber. Meet by the front gate. Hurry! Sure thing. I'll be heading there shortly. Like after I save some progress and select the right game folder for one. And there we go. And as far as junctioning, actually no, I just need to switch junction. Boom. Boom, baby. Good old Zell Miguel. Okay, let's see. We need to work on you, and we need to do... let's do Ammo RF. Ammo Refinement. And as far as you are concerned, let's do Move Find. This is a godsend of an ability to learn, especially for Siren. What this does is it'll allow you to find hidden save and draw points. So you'll have more opportunities to save your progress as well as draw some very powerful spells if you can manage to find them. With that ability equipped to that person who junctioned it. So, yeah, that's pretty sweet. What's not so sweet, however, is unfortunately the first play session did receive some copyright claims when I uploaded it to YouTube, mostly with the game's music, and one from Square Enix as well, so not sure what that was about. But thankfully it's nothing serious or anything at all. It's just a claim saying, hey, you can't monetize the video, and that's about it. So, not a big deal. As long as they're not blocking the video outright or anything of the sort, then we're fine. One more minute. And here he is, the man of the hour, Mr. Zell Miguel. Made it! Team wars are prohibited within Garden. Have you forgotten? Oops, sorry. But this is really cool. It may come in handy on the seed mission someday. We'll be the judges of that. Confiscate it. Compensate. Whatever. Take it. All of you are members of Seed, but nevertheless, you're still students at this garden. Furthermore, because you are Seeds, you must set an example of all others and abide by the garden's rules. Understood? Well, about your first mission. You are to go to Timber. There you will be supporting a resistance faction. This is your mission. That is your mission. A member of the faction will contact you at Timber Station. This person will talk to you and say, the forest of Timber sure have changed. At this time, you must reply, but the owls are still around. That is the password. Just follow the faction's orders. Just us three? Correct. We have agreed to do this mission for very little money. Normally, we would never accept such requests, but... Enough talk about that. Well then, Squall, you are the squad leader. Use your best judgment based on the situation. Zell and Selfie, you are to support Squall and give your all to carry out the faction's plans. Okay, sounds good. Before you leave, talk to Headmaster Sid. One more time. Oh, and Squall, I forgot to give you this. It's a cursed item, but if one with enough power uses it, it should be of great help. And you receive the magic lamp. This is what Sid said, a cursed item. And using this item is completely optional. You can choose to skip this, but if you leave this screen and don't talk to Sid now, you will lose access to this item for the remainder of the game. So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind before you head out. Unless you're a speedrunner, in which case this may not be of any use to you. but I'm just saying. For those of us who are casual players or just know better, talk to Sid. Talk to Sid before leaving the area where he once stood. And before heading out of Garden, make sure you're fully prepared. Everyone has a GF equipped, which Selfie does, thank God. Speaking of GFs, it may not be a bad idea to just unequip everyone's GF and go by compatibility. You can do this very easily by selecting off and then all, and this will remove all GFs and all junctions that you have currently equipped. So, the first GF Coinslot, whatever the frick its name is, seems like the highest compatibility is Zell. So he's gonna be getting that GF first. Boop. And GF, draw. And I think I'm gonna select card here. No additional abilities right now. Let's see. Who's next? Highest compatibility for you, Shiva, is Squall, believe it or not. Okay. Boom. There we are. Oh dear, looks like my webcam kind of shat itself, so excuse me for just a second. Let me go ahead and fix that. Not sure why it shut the bed. Like literally all I'm getting is a black screen. Okay, what the hell is this? It seems like my webcam just shut off. Here we go. Alright, I just need to fix this real quick. It shouldn't take me too long. Properties. There we go. I'm not sure why the camera just shut itself off. Not sure what was up with that, why that happened, but it did. For God knows what reason. Alright, let's get back to the game. Okay. I think we equipped Shiva the Squall. Yes, we did. Who's next for compatibility? And the winner for Freak goes to Squall in this playthrough. Okay, nothing new here. And Siren. Compatibility winner is... that would be Selfie. Sweet. I think the more a person uses a GF, the higher the compatibility with that person will be. So, that's pretty neat. Again, I'm not really sure why my camera just suddenly shut off like that. That does not happen normally. I hope nothing's wrong with it, or the cable was going bad. Because I paid a lot of money for this damn camera and this whole setup. Ugh, Jesus flip. Okay, I think we're good here, so let's get going. Oh, right, I still need the junction people with the magic and elemental defense. I think I'm gonna select, first off, I need a junction strength. Oddly enough, even curative spells such as Cure can be a great attribute for strength. So, don't count them out. Let's see, Spirit. Looks like Scan's pretty good. wow, Cure is especially good. Like, holy crap, that is something else. Okay, as far as defense is concerned, we can select something like Shell, and it would boost our defenses for basically every element by 1% because we only have so many as Sunas. And I think I'm gonna try reducing nothing right now. As far as elemental attack is concerned, maybe Thunder. And defense will be Blizzard. That sounds pretty good. You know, blind may not be a bad idea, but again, so very little blinds. For Selfie, for whatever reason. Speaking of which, there is one other thing you can do. And, I don't know if it's here or somewhere else. Ah, here we go. Magic. It's under Magic. You just gotta select a person after selecting Magic. You can choose to use a magic spell or exchange magic with other party members. So I'm going to exchange Blind for Squall and give all the blinds that the Selfie has. And there's a reason for this. First off, we're going to save the game right here. Boom and boom. Now, let's open up the magic lamp. And get ready for the fight of our lives. And as noted on the very top of the screen, it says you should save your game before using it. Trust me, you want to do it. Because something can go horribly, horribly wrong if you're not careful. So, with that in mind, let's use it. And say hello to the optional boss, Diablos. Not a Blizzard property. Who dares disturb my sleep? It is I, Aladdin! Okay, magic and blind. Diablos, believe it or not, is highly susceptible to blind. Cast blind at the very start of the fight as soon as you possibly can. And pray to God that it actually hits him. Throughout most of the fight, he's going to be using Demi and other gravitational magic. Gravitational magic in Final Fantasy games work on a HP percentage kind of scale. So what that means is whenever Demi or any sort of gravitational spell hits a character, their HP drops by a certain percentage. So in this case, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure the percentage for Demi is roughly 1/8 of your health overall on the target. So anyone who's hit by Demi loses 1/8 of their health. Gravity, like Gravija, or something of that nature, usually takes around 1/4, 1/2, etc., etc. Please hit. Damn it! Oh man, this isn't good. I probably shouldn't have given Squall all the damn blinds. This is bad. Really, really bad. I need to blind him. I don't know why it's not working here. What's going on? Why is this not working? Is he already blind? I don't think so, because I did cast the spell as soon as the fight began, and yet it still did nothing. Hmm, 129, not too bad, but still, could be better. Maybe I should have had Selfie keep some of those blinds for herself after all. Oh well. And that's exactly the reason why you want to blind Diablos as soon as the fight begins. Because at some point he will start attacking physically. And when he does, he will hit like a truck. And it will hurt a ton. So if you happen to fall in battle, that character is essentially down for the count unless you bring him back via Phoenix Down. God damn it. That is so lame. Why you gotta attack Squall immediately after revival? That makes no sense. I get the fact that he may be considered the strongest here, but come on, man. This is ridiculous. Okay, that's better. 131. Ugh, Jesus flip. As far as what Diablos is weak to, I think he's weak to light magic, such as Holy. Oh, here we go. Time for a limit break. Ow. Kinda want to use Blind on Diablos here. One thing about Demi and other gravitational magic that you should take note of is, thankfully it can't kill. It cannot kill people at all, no matter how much damage or how much HP you have. Come the frick on, man! Every time! Why? Why is this not working? When I first initiated a fight during my practice run, I was able to blind Diablos right away. So what the hell is this crap? Why am I not able to blind him now? Like every time I've used blind, it does not work. Well, good news is at least we can show off Duel. Duel is Zell's Limit Break. Oh wow, Siren is dead. Never knew that. Shit. Magic, Blind, Diablos, please. So yeah, if you try to cast a spell. Oh, there we go. Jesus. That took way too freaking long. Thankfully, we don't need to worry about that now. Sure, keep using it on Squall. Let's see how much good that does you. So get used to Diablo spamming Demi and stuff of that nature. Thankfully, he's blind, and he's going to be that way for quite a while. Good night, sweet prince! Damn! That's sweet. Unfortunately, it didn't do much as far as damage output for, like, the initial attacks, but, again, by the power of math, it really racks up the damage. You gotta think about it, this is Squall's typical attack power, and it's striking the enemy multiple times. Plus, with the finisher on top of that, that'll really bring the pain train down on Diablos' parade in every way, shape, and form. So, if you're trying to do the whole strategy of spamming a limit break for a character such as Squall here, if you are given the attack command and aren't given an opportunity to unleash your limit break like you should be able to, spam triangle and keep repeating the character's turn until they eventually get the option to use their limit break. This way, this will allow the character to unleash their true power. Ah, damn it! Pushed it too many times. Well, 100. I think this is just the base attack power, so not a big deal. Still, though, I hate that crap. Okay, here we go again. Usually the percentage for Squall's finisher, the lower Squall's HP is overall, the more likely he's going to unleash his finisher. Alright, time for another duel! Get your game on, because it's time to duel! Damn it. Well, unfortunately that didn't work out so well. Oh well, it's fine. Can't believe, Can't believe we're literally so close to death's doorstep that it's not even funny. So, another limit break you can unleash on Diablos and pray that you win is Duel as well as Squall's limit break. Unleash both of these and give it everything you got. Try to throw down as many moves as you possibly can. And also pray that the buttons register. And that's why you need to blind him, because, again, if you don't blind him, then you're going to be in a world of pain. There we go. Rough Divide. Die, damn you! Too much sleep. Too weak. Jesus! It's finally over. But there we go. We received Diablos. And some new moves, too. So say hello to Diablos. One of several optional GFs that you can acquire throughout the course of the game. There are several of them, and I'm going to try my best to acquire as many as I can. Also, say hello to our first paycheck. After so much playtime within the game, so long as you're out in the field, you will receive a salary. So essentially, instead of earning gil per battle like older Final Fantasy games or even future ones, Final Fantasy VIII pays on a salary kind of system. So every so often you will receive a paycheck. And based on your actions and how well you do in battle will determine whether or not your pay stays the same, goes up, or goes down. And there are several ways that your paycheck can go down. And usually those ways they involve being completely reckless. And doing some really stupid things. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to explain when it comes to the seed system is there is a invisible counter for your seed rank, and that is known as seed experience. For every enemy that you defeat without using the power of your GFs to defeat said enemy, you'll gain experience for your seed rank. The more experience you have, the more likely you'll be able to increase your seed rank. However, for every time you get paid, you will lose 10 seed experience. So, that is something to keep in mind as you're going about the game. If you don't battle often enough, then you may not have enough seed rank to maintain your current paycheck, and so your pay will then go down, which is very annoying. And it seems like it's easier to lose seed rank than it is to gain it, which is really, really perplexing. Like, why is it so much easier to lose rank than it is to gain? No idea. Anyway, while you're exploring out in the field, a neat trick that you can use is, so long as you're walking on a road or any sort of a pathway, so long as you're on that road, you will not have to worry about any sort of enemy encounters as you're roaming around the field. But if you go on the grass, then you have the possibility of running into a random encounter. So if you're trying to make sure your party stays alive, stay on the roads as much as humanly possible. It's that easy. So anyway, before we head off to Timber, let's talk to a couple of townsfolk. Nice to meet you finally. I've heard a lot of stuff about you. Huh? What stuff? Lots of bad stuff. You have every right to worry. Hardly. You're like a legend here. No way. What did he do? Well, I guess he's most known for doing the most grueling pull-ups. See that sign over there? Once he climbed up there and did 100 pull-ups. Can you imagine that? Yeah, what do you guys think about that, huh? Sophie's like, oh my god. I think you need some help. Too funny. That's actually a hidden conversation that you can choose to initiate if you want. It's entirely up to you if you want to do it or not. Let's go and give you that. Give you some thunders. And we can choose to explore this town if we want. Ma, I'm home. Also, welcome to Zell's house. Zell, what a surprise. Are these your friends? This is my home. My house. But don't make yourselves too comfortable. Why is that, Zell? Also, what is up with that weird glitch? I noticed this during my practice playthrough as well. Sometimes, occasionally, you would push the triangle button to bring up the menu, but it only fades the screen to black. So, that kind of sucks. So you would have to push the triangle button again to reinitiate the menu. Anywho, Diablos is probably one of the more powerful GFs you can acquire in this game. And acquiring him as early as possible is really useful, especially for later dungeons, because of the ability Encounter Half, and after you learn this, you'll then gain the opportunity to learn Encounter None. So what that means is this will cut the encounter rate by half, and the other one will eliminate random encounters entirely. So if you are struggling to get to a safe place and you're having to deal with a lot of angry, super powerful monsters that want to rip your face off, equip Encounter Half or None to save yourself some trouble. Provided that you've learned them, of course. But even so, looks like the highest compatibility for this one is Squall. So, here you go, Squall. Time to acquire a new friend and a new powerful ally. And as far as any sort of junctioning magic is concerned, he doesn't have anything to start with, unfortunately, but he can definitely learn some stuff, that's for sure. Take care of Zell for me. Sure thing. Will do. Yo, Squall! That's my room up there. It's sacred, so just keep out. Yeah, no matter how many times you try to go up the stairs, Zell's gonna keep interrupting you over and over again, saying, don't go to his room, don't go to his room. It's sacred. It's a sacred place where the Holy Triforce resides. An old issue of Timber Mechanics. Not! Other than that, there's not really much here. You can just come here, introduce yourself to Zell's mother and her family. And we also have this shop here. Hello! Welcome to the junk shop. There are going to be many of these kinds of shops throughout the course of our adventure. And each of these shops will allow us to come here and refine materials as well as pay a small fee to reform our weapons and upgrade them, or downgrade them too if you choose to do so. Again, provided that you have the right materials. You can learn more about different weapons and other neat things on offer as you acquire Weapons Monthly. This is a magazine. You can read the magazine and figure out what item is available on sale. You can read the items on offer here. You can read about the different items that the party starts with and why they have these things, kind of. It's kind of like one big advertisement. So, there you go. And it also tells you how many materials that you need in order to remodel the weapon into said thing. So if you really want to do something crazy, like downgrade a weapon to, like, say, the revolver, then, yeah, you can do that. Provided you have the right materials and you can pay the fee. Each weapon has their own individual fee, as well as different materials needed to make said thing. So, yeah, as we acquire more Weapon Monthly magazines, we'll be able to make more and more weapons. Funny enough, if you acquire the right number of items and do things a certain way, you can acquire Squall's ultimate weapon as early as the first disc. So, essentially, very early on in the game. Like, so early that it'll blow your frickin' mind. As far as me, I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to do such a feat, at least this early on in the game, but hey, there's always a chance. And even if we were able to upgrade our weapons at all, I would be happy with. Okay, let me go ahead and load up on items, so that way we can be well prepared and fully stocked. I try to keep my items organized in like sets of 5 or 10. So, for example, Remedy, I can buy 3 and have 5 of them, or I can buy 8 of them, and boom. Okay, we don't want to spend too much money here, because, again, you kind of get paid on a salary basis, and it's based on playtime. Again, try to keep that in mind. Another way you can make money is by refining items and selling them back in stores. So, that's another way you can make money as well. However, I don't really use that method as far as money grinding is concerned. I just try to get my seed rank to be as high as humanly possible and then get paid via paychecks. Because those are typically evened out as much as possible. The train to Timber is here. Please purchase a train ticket. Yes, please. It's pretty expensive, but well worth it. You need 3,000 gil minimum in order to be able to purchase a train ticket. Please go inside right away. The train to Timber will be leaving shortly. Okay. I think we're good to go here. So let's head on off to Timber! If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The train is awesome. A conditional railroad, baby. I don't even know how to read that word. It even runs through an underwater tunnel to get to Timber. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that is pretty cool. Sure is. It's like, guess you're not interested. By the way, Squall, you have to use the ticket to get inside. Okay. Sounds good to me. Okay. We can go inside now. ID check confirming. Access granted. As my voice cracks like an egg. I'm going to check out the front. Teehee, thanks. Let's go check it out, Squall. Okay, after you. There's also a save point here. Be sure to save your progress if you possibly can at this point. Trust me, you kind of want to do this. Alright, here we go. Onto the front of the train. Yo, check it out. So this is Seed's private cabin. Whoa! Oh yeah! Awesome! I love trains. Great. Train, train, take us away. Take us away, far away. To the future we will go. You have anything else to say? Such a nice breeze. So it is. Oh, I'll meet you inside. I'm gonna hang out here for a bit. Okay. Sounds good to me. Unfortunately, we can't go any further than this, but we can check out the private cabin. Honestly, it's not a bad idea to do this now. This is so cool! Quite a bouncy couch. I'm glad you're so excited. Ugh, man, that felt good. Nice fart. They even have magazines here. Ooh, Pet Pals, Volume 1. Very important. We'll be getting into that later. This is pretty damn amazing. It pays to be a member of Seed. Squall, you know anything about timber? Not too much. Thought so. Well, let me fill you in. Timber used to be a country surrounded by deep forests. But 18 years ago, Galbadia invaded. Timber fell quite easily to Galbadia. So now Timber is under Galbadian occupation. It's said there's a whole bunch of resistance factions, big and small. And? Nope, that's it. Ugh. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All Zell. Hey, no prob. Do you even know what sarcasm is? I'm not feeling well. You should get some rest if you're tired. I'm really sleepy. You okay? Hey, huh? What the? Something's wrong with me too. I feel sleepy. What's going on? Ugh. What is this? Get used to hearing that throughout the course of the game. It's going to be happening a lot. Huh? Welcome to the dream sequence. Laguna, are you sure this is the right way? Huh? What? Yeah, as I was saying, welcome to the dream sequence of Final Fantasy VIII. Throughout the course of this game, we'll be transitioning between the main party cast, as well as the mindset of Laguna, as well as a couple of his friends, Kyros and Ward. I believe it's Kyros, or it's pronounced as something else. One thing to keep in mind is that during the dream sequences, you cannot be paid your seed salary. And Laguna has his own wallet. So your money isn't magically transferred from the dream sequence in reality. So I'll figure I'd throw that out there. Okay. The Laguna sequences are probably some of the best parts in the game, in my opinion. And this is why. The freaking battle theme changes for Laguna's sequence. Say hello to the song, The Man with the Machine Gun. Probably the best damn song in Final Fantasy VIII, hands down. And probably one of the best battle themes in all of Final Fantasy ever. And the reason why this song is so kick-ass, I can't even describe it. You just gotta listen for yourselves. But now's not really the time for that. We kind of need to move forward and do so fairly quickly. Again, if you want to level up, kill everyone you see, stab them with a spear, slice them in the face, and then blow them to kingdom come with the power of an Uzi. I think that's an Uzi that Laguna is carrying. I could be wrong. Where am I? Ooh, babe. Not again. Dream? A cure draw point. Interesting. So, one thing to keep in mind is, based on who your party members are, they will be corresponded to that particular person. So, in this instance, Laguna was Squall, and Kiros was Zell, and Ward was Selfie. So, because of the dream sequence and the way this works, all the junctions and GF assignments are given to those characters based on a lot of factors that I really do not remember off the top of my head. But anyway, the dream sequences, there is one other thing that's worth noting too, and that is despite us being in a dream sequence, whoever is that particular person, like say Squall is Laguna and whatnot, they will receive, they have the same level as that person assigned to that particular character. Okay, let's just go through everything nice and slowly. Also, at this point in the game, I think now we're introduced to status effects. Granted, we were hit with one earlier, I think. I don't remember. Ugh. Almost puked in my mouth a little. Anyway, as far as status effects are concerned, you can get rid of status effects in several ways. Either by using a corresponding item, such as a remedy, or some other item that cures a particular status ailment. But for the most part, there are a couple of ways you can do that. And there are also some other natural ways you can get rid of status ailments too. One of those ways is just to wait it out. And that usually involves waiting several turns. It does take quite a while before the effects wear off completely. And in Final Fantasy VIII, some status ailments such as poison remain in effect even after battle and will constantly drain your HP. But other effects such as sleep, those will be removed at the end of the battle. Question marks all over the place. Wonder what that's about. Hey, aren't we here to fight a war? You know, against the almighty Timber Army? Yeah, so why are we wasting our time messing with these animals? Because animals. Well, you see, it's just that, don't tell me we're lost again. Anyway, we're going home. Delling City, here we come. But wait, Laguna! Alright. Well, we're just about done here. Just gotta hop into the truck and then drive away. Like the uber badasses that we are. Off we go. Time to head back to civilization. And the reason why is just to get smashed and hammered. Not literally, but still. Hey, you can't park in the middle of the street. Chill, man, it's cool. Alright then, how's about a drink? We're not just here for booze, are we? We got a war to fight. So we'll get smashed and then we'll charge! Kiros, Ward, you two seem misunderstood. Seem to misunderstand. I just want to have a friendly drink with you two. I'm pretty sure there's more than just a friendly drink that he has in mind. Anyway, during this dream sequence, there's not really much exploration you can do here in Delling City. So that is something to keep in mind. Just concentrate on heading towards the objective, which in this case is the hotel here. Save your progress if you want, which honestly may not be a bad idea to do that. So let's go ahead and save, bada binga, bada booma, and head down the stairs and get ready to get hammered. Welcome, your usual table is ready. I'll walk around a bit. You have 3 separate options. One of them is technically the correct one. And let's check out, excuse me? What? What's wrong? I don't know. Okay, what is this? Huh? What's wrong? I'm not quite sure. Wait a second, is your head buzzing? What, you too? Yeah, ever since we were in Timber. Me too. Hey, we're just tired, that's all. We'll be fine after a drink or 2, or 3, or 4, or more. What is this? Just shut up, please! I love it. Any additional times you would do this, same thing will be said and the waitress will continue to run. And change positions between one of 2 locations. Okay, let's go ahead and take a load off. Thanks. Is this a dream? Laguna's pretty cute. What's going on? What's happening to me? At ease, men. We're going all out tonight, right, boys? May I take your order? The usual. Me too. Keep 'em coming. Say, so Laguna, Julia should be making her appearance soon. You going for it tonight? Yeah, go for it. Whatever, man. Can't you see she's working? Don't go back on your word. Come on, go wave to her. Give me a break. So you say, but we know you'll do it. Press A to do it. By the way, you can actually talk to the other people here if you want. Soldiers, don't bother me in a time of bliss. To be able to listen to Julia play on a day like this. Oh, baby! This is turning out to be a lovely night. I agree. It's always lovely to listen to piano music every now and again, especially when it's serene and peaceful. And not so much poppy, if you know what I mean. To be this close to Julia. Is this guy serious? Uh-oh. My leg's cramping up. Ah! I guess he gets cramps whenever he gets nervous. Sad. I wonder if that was Squall who said that. Probably. Well, that was interesting. No way, I can't bother Julia. To be able to listen to Julia play, blah, 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 blah. No, no, no! Well, I carried out my mission, so I'll be able to report with my head held high. Good work, Laguna. Mission successful. Here, have a seat. I didn't think you'd actually do it. Our popularity rating's gone up a point. Yeah, but you can cut a pretty pitiful figure up there. I'd say you're about a -3 on the manliness scale. Say what you want. Julia sure is pretty. She is. Ah. Huh? Laguna, we're taking off. Hey, what's the rush? It's on us tonight. Relax and stay a while, Laguna. Sounds good. I mean, why are you leaving? May I? Oh. Ah! Did I interrupt anything? No, not at all. But please, sit down. Oh man, it's really her. What do I do? You're a sword. Help! What do I say? But man, she is pretty. What is this guy thinking? You okay now? Kind of. How's your leg? The leg? Oh, this? Yeah, it's fine. Happens all the time when I get nervous. Were you nervous? Oh yeah, I'm still kinda. You can relax. You don't have to get nervous around me. Oh, sorry. Say, would you like to talk somewhere private? I have a room here. In your room? Well, it's pretty hard to talk freely here. Everyone's listening in. If you'd like to, please come by. I've been wanting to talk to you. You don't want to? Of course I do. Then I'll go ahead and wait for you. Ask for my room at the front desk, okay? Score! Am I dreaming? This is a dream. This is a dream. No, this can't be a dream. This is too weird to be a dream. Julia wants to talk to me? He talks to himself too much. And just the two of us. Get it together, Laguna. Whatever. I always screw up by talking about myself too much. It's always been like that, but not tonight. I'm all ears for Julia. Time to use my manly charm and help Julia with her problem. That felt good. Pretty bold for you for just a grunt. Julia this, Julia that. Yeah, I'll fix you. Send you off to a war 1,000,000 miles away. Today's my special day, but Julia chose you! Why? Why must it always be like this? And why must it be on this day of all days? Can you really carry on the conversation with Julia? Make sure the conversation's sophisticated. No worries, man. That's like my specialty. One wouldn't say you're converse, though. All you do is yap, 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 and never listen. Don't be like that, you bugger. Okay. Welcome. Checking in. Which is Julia's room? Which? Is he really going? Mr. Laguna Lawyer. I don't even know how to say that last name. I've been expecting you. Let me show you to Miss Julia's room. She probably told him, the receptionist at the front desk, that she's expecting a guest. And the person's name, of course, was Laguna. Just saying. Thanks for coming. No, not at all. Thank you for inviting me. Have a seat. Wonder what's up with Laguna right now. Just can't find a comfortable place to sit. Going so soon? We haven't even talked yet. No, it's not that. It's just that I'm a big fan of yours, so I'm really kind of nervous, you know? So that's why you come to hear me play so often. You saw me? You were always smiling while listening, right? You have beautiful eyes, though they look a bit scared right now. Don't worry, I'm not going to pluck them and eat them. I just want to talk, gazing into those eyes. Would you like a drink? Wine, perhaps? I must be dreaming. Yeah, I don't like fighting too much, but you get to travel, you know, seeing new places and stuff. And it's fun, because Kiros and Ward are always with me. Hey, we should all go out drinking sometime. What do you say? And, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I want to quit the army and become a journalist. So I can tell people about all the things I've seen on my travels. He's already loosened up. So like the other day, one of my articles made the readers column. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm happy for you. Oh yeah, and then... Yikes, I've been talking too much again. Yes? Tell me about yourself, like your dreams for the future. I want to sing, not just play the piano, but sing too. Oh, I'd really love to hear it. But I can't. I'm no good at writing lyrics. That must be tough. More than you'll ever know, buddy. But thanks to you, I think I can come up with something. Thanks to me? Yes. The many faces you've shown me. Times when you were hurt, worried, or felt pain deep inside you. Your smile, your face, your eyes. You've shown me something. I think I can come up with a song. Wow, I must be dreaming. I'm dreaming of Genie. It's not a dream, is it? Laguna, new orders. Meet by the presidential residence on the double. Can we meet again? Of course, I have to come hear you sing. Aw, that's sweet. I wonder what she'll sing. Next stop, Timber, Timber. Next stop, Timber, Timber. Ugh, what a strange dream. We were all asleep. Maybe someone released some sleeping gas. There's lots of people who resent seed. Maybe. Better be careful. Am I missing anything? Anyone hurt? I don't think so. What a relief. Everything's cool with me. I had such a nice dream. I had a dream too. It wasn't nice though. I dreamt I was a moron. We will be arriving in Timber shortly. For those getting off, please be sure to have all of your belongings. But seriously, Sir Laguna was so cool. Hey, there was a Laguna in my dream too. He's a Galbadian soldier, right? Laguna, Kiros, and Ward. Huh? That's it! I come up with a new recipe. That's what? Bad timing. There's no way we can understand this. Let's just concentrate on the mission, on our first mission. I guess you're right. We'll put this incident on hold. I'll report it to the headmaster once we get back to Garden. We should be there soon, eh? Here we go. Psych yourself up, baby. Whew, still sleepy. Basically me every single morning. Despite me getting at least 10 hours of sleep. Ugh. Just saying. Well, despite heading into Dreamland, we finally reached our destination. Welcome to Timber. Timber! Okay, I'll stop now. Here we are. Oh, the forest timber sure have changed. And here is where the password needs to be entered. And again, but the owls are still around. Welcome to Timber, sir. Come with me, sir. And stop calling me sir. On vacation? That's not fair. My Georgie's in there. I hate this pet shop. Aw, they're so mean. Welcome. How's Timber been treating ya? Don't know. We just got here. Please, please, this way, sir. Enough with the formalities. Come on, man. Ooh, another train. Whoop, whoop. I wonder if this is the Smash Ultimate Hype train. As we just slide in, standing on all fours, like, whoop. Casual. Totally natural. So, you guys are seeds. I'm the squad leader, Squall. This is Zell and Selfie. Nice to meet you. I'm the leader of the Forest Owls. Likewise. What is Squall antisocial or something? So, let's get on with it. What do we do? Just take it easy. Here, let me introduce you. Looks like you already met Watts. Hiya. I guess it's just our princess then. It's the princess's nap time, sir. Aw, man. Hey, Squall, sorry, but could you go get the princess? She's in the last room up those stairs. Some of our other guys are in the room on the way. Ask them if you get lost. Which is pretty much impossible to do, because this hallway is quite linear. Almost as linear as the entirety of Final Fantasy XIII. Were we hired to run errands? Well... are you angry? We're not Gophers. We're Seed. Special Forces. This is the last time for this kind of thing. Ow, ow, ouch. Ouch, my stomach. Seems whenever anything goes wrong, Zone's stomach growls. Kind of reminds me of Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball Z and even Dragon Ball Super. Whenever something serious pops up, he has to have either the Z Fighters or Majin Buu help him out. And yeah, I kind of spoiled Z a bit, so oops. Whatever. Just ignore what I said. But either way, Zone is essentially this world's Mr. Satan. Just saying. Our princess is in the room further down. No duh. What? You're gonna wake the princess? You've got some guts, man. Who am I dealing with exactly? Princess Peach or Princess Elise? Both of those girls get kidnapped 24/7 by mad people. The sound of the train moving, it's so relaxing. You should totally take the time to listen. Funny enough, I never actually ridden on a train myself, so I don't know the feeling. I would love to do that sometime in the near future. I've actually seen an advertisement on TV not that long ago for a local train station where you can ride on one of the oldest trains in the state of Maine. And it's a pretty fun little 1-hour adventure. Or something to that extent. Hey, you're, you know, from the party. So, does that mean you're a seed? Yes, I am. I'm Squall, the squad leader. There's 2 others with me. Yes! Seed is here! Take it easy. It's just that I'm so happy. I've been sending requests to Garden forever, but nothing. I'm so glad I spoke to Sid directly. Oh. So you were looking for the headmaster at the party. You know Cypher? Yeah. Well, he's the one who introduced me to Sid. Sid is such a nice man. I really didn't think Sid would come out to help a measly little group like us. But after explaining our situation to him, Sid gave the go-ahead right away. Now that you guys are here, we'll be able to carry out all kinds of plans. Okay, yes. I'm going back to the others. Okay, let's go. Sounds good. Squall? Is he here? He? Cypher? No, he's not a seed. Oh. That's too bad. Oh yeah, my name's... another character who you can actually rename. Squall and Renoa are the only 2 characters in the entire story who you can rename, other than GFs. So, Renoa is the default name, and so I'm going to be going with just that. Very pleased to meet you, Squall. Seed members dance quite well, don't they? Approach your target inconspicuously at a dance party. There may be missions requiring this sort of subterfuge. It's expected of Seed to learn various skills. Oh, so it's work-related? That's too bad. Oh, look! Look at the precious puppy! I want it! Here, let me introduce you. This is my partner. And my friend in life, Angelo! Best dog. Best character. Angelo's really smart. Here, let me tell you. Now we're going to be explaining Renoa's limit break and how it works. Renoa's limit break uses Angelo, her dog. The tricks Angelo can learn are listed on the status screen. The 4th status screen lists all the tricks that Angelo can learn, and what she has in her possession currently. The gauge on the right indicates how much has been learned. When the gauge is full, the trick has been learned. And you also get a little sound indicator, which is pretty difficult to hear. But if you manage to hear a little twinkling sound, then that means Angelo has learned a new trick. If the gauge is not full, the trick has not yet been learned. To learn a new trick, move the cursor to the trick name and press X to select it. Now as Renoa walks around, the gauge will fill up and Angelo will learn the trick. If you select the trick that has already been learned, there will be a message before you close the screen. If there's still a trick to learn, be sure to select it. You can learn new tricks by reading a magazine called Pet Pals. If you remember, not too long ago, we picked up Pet Pals Volume 1. So, after reading the magazine or after acquiring it, Angelo can learn a new trick right away. You can learn new tricks by reading a magazine called Pet Pals, as I've already explained. After reading Pet Pals, access this screen to change the settings. That's all for Renoa's Limit Break. Good luck and have fun. Smart, huh? I have some important work to do now. Be good, Angelo. Okay, I'll meet you there. Angelo is just so adorable. I just want to cuddle her. Oh. I know she's based on a certain dog breed. I can't remember what the name is off the top of my head. But isn't she the cutest? Plus, if you hover over her and select her with the X button, she'll just hump the air. What's even more fun? Making her sing. Making her sing and play an instrument. Check this out. That is a rough interpretation of the Super Mario Brothers theme. And this is probably the only time in the game you can make Angelo sing and do whatever you want. Or you can make her jitter, turn her into a jitter mod. You can do that too if you want. It's just a funny little visual anomaly that you can do over and over again. And funny enough, this is even replicated in this day. To this very day. If anyone's played Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and learned any sort of gestures, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Especially when trying to do backflips and shit. It's just a hilarious spectacle, to say the least. Funny how a visual anomaly from around this time is still creeping up even in today's modern games. It's funny because it's true. Okay, we're done here. We've reached our destination. That's why we came to a sudden stop. Of course, there's nothing wrong with this train. I'm the one who's taking care of it. We're having a strategy meeting, right? Better get going. By the way, you're really lucky to come away without a scratch. How so? Oh wow, this guy's like really sleeping. Wow. The sounds of train is so relaxing to him that he's practically knocked out. This is Zell. And Selfie. Hi everyone. This way. Okay, let's get this mission briefing over with. Here we go. Just stand anywhere you want. This is a full-scale operation. Our resistance to forest owls will be forever known in the page of Timber's independence. Exciting, huh? It all started when we got a hold of top secret info from Galbadia. I got the info, sir. There's a VIP from Galbadia coming to Timber. Super VIP! The guy's name is Vinzer Delling, our arch enemy and the president of Galbadia. Vinzer Delling is a scoundrel. He's a dictator, not a president, not even popular in Galbadia, sir. He also goes by another name, Donald Trump. And he actually exists today, believe it or not. That's a joke, people. It's a joke. President Delling is taking a private train from the Galbadian capital. Our plan is to blow up the smithereens with a rocket launcher? That would be awesome! I want to see that in the next special edition. Not quite. Oh. But usually the simplest solutions are the best solutions. So get to the point. Just tell us what to do. Shall we begin? First, I'll go over the model. Excuse me. The yellow train on the top right is our base. We're riding in it right now. Right next to it is the dummy car. We made it look just like the president's car. The train has 3 cars. First, there's the locomotive, followed by the square ST escort. Technically speaking, that is known as the first escort, but due to the way the whole button prompt mod works, it overrides some of the text that is placed within the PC version of the game. And so because of this, it also has a couple of visual anomalies such as this. Just be aware, it's not part of the official... It's not a part of the main game or the original PS1 release. It says first escort, under normal circumstances. The red car is the president's car. Delling should be inside. The last car is the X and D escort. Again, just like with the first escort, that X is not there under normal circumstances. It is just second escort. Once we get on this one, we'll begin the operation. Our ultimate goal is to seize the president in his car using our base. That means we'll have to switch our dummy car with their president's car. We'll use the 2 switch points leading up to Timber to carry out this operation. Now I'm going to explain the procedures in 7 steps. Step 1, sneak on board the second escort. We'll get on the roof of the second escort by jumping from our dummy car. Step 2, proceed cautiously across the roof of the second escort. The second escort car is the only one that is equipped with sensors, sir. A high-tech officer is on board. I'll talk about the sensors later. Step 3, proceed across the roof of the president's car. We can move across the roof of the president's car without worrying too much. Delling hates the company of his guards and being surrounded by sensors, and keeps them away from his car. Step 4, uncouple the first escort car. We'll have to complete the uncoupling before the first switch point. If we don't, boom, game over, right? Yeah, so we'll have to move fast. I'll explain the uncoupling process later. Step 5. Have the dummy car and our base move in after uncoupling. After the car is uncoupled, we have the dummy car and our base move in. At this point, our train and their train will be linked and be moving together. Step 6. Uncouple the second escort car. This is the last uncoupling. The process will probably be similar to the first one. Step 7. Escape with the president's car and our base. If all goes well, we should be able to escape with the president's car. After that, we'll return to our base and prepare to confront Delling. We have exactly 5 minutes to complete the 7 procedures. So again, all the steps are displayed right here on screen. Again, step 1, get on the second escort. Step 2, proceed across the second escort. Step 3, proceed across the president's car. Step 4, uncouple the first escort car. Step 5, the dummy car and our base move in. Step 6, uncouple the second escort car. Step 7, and the final step, escape with the president's car. If we fail, our train will collide with theirs at the switch point, and it'll be all over. Don't forget that. 5 minutes? You sure that's enough? According to the situation that we ran, or simulation that we ran, it should take only 3 minutes to complete the operation. Piece of cake for seats, right? Of course, too easy. Ugh. Okay, now let's talk about how to avoid the sensors on the second escort. Go ahead, Watts. The guards have a sound sensor and a temperature sensor, sir. Any sound will trigger the sound sensor, so move across very quietly, sir. The blue guard is carrying this sensor. The temperature sensor will go off if you remain stationary, sir. The guard in red is carrying this one, sir. When a guard opens a blind, that means he is checking the sensor, so be careful. The range of these sensors is equal to the length of one window, so keep an eye on the window below, sir. So, exactly how do you avoid them? It's displayed on the top of the screen. Stop if there's a blue guard below you, run if there's a red guard below you. Basically, run or stop, depending on which guard is below you. That's about it for the sensors. Next, let's talk about how to uncouple the escort cars. Question, how can you uncouple the cars from a moving train? We can't uncouple the cars directly. Instead, we'll have to tamper with the control system that manages the coupling. If we temporarily disable the circuits for the connection, the car will uncouple automatically. To disable it, we have to enter several codes. And we have the codes. Renoa has them, sir. I'll be in charge of relaying the codes to Squall. Squall, you'll have to slide down to the sides of that train using the cable and enter the codes into the system. Now I need you to listen carefully. Each code is made of 4 numbers between 1 through 4 and has 4 digits. 2, 3, 4, 1 is an example. And my camera froze. It must have froze a while ago, so let me go ahead and fix this. Not sure why this camera is freezing right now. Why is it doing this? Why is this happening? Okay, back to the game again. As you can see, the button prompts are kind of all over the place. I believe under normal circumstances, the circle button would be corresponding to button 1, X is button 2 as displayed normally here, button 3 is square as displayed normally, and circle is in an abnormal location as button 4. So essentially, triangle and circle have swapped locations. This is a pretty damn confusing system, and it can throw you off quite majorly, but thankfully from my practice playthrough, this wasn't so bad, because the numbers are there as you're entering the code, so in case you forget, they're right there. But the keypad won't have numbers, instead it'll have 4 buttons. Oddly enough, this is not necessarily the case, as the numbers are still there, even in the real scenario. Okay. For instance, if I relay the code 3124, you'll have to push square, triangle, X, circle in that order. You'll have to enter quick. You have to be quick and precise. You'll have about 5 seconds to enter each code. Otherwise, the code will change and past entries will become invalid. So, like we said, we have to enter all the codes to disable the connections. After we uncouple the cars, we'll wait for the others to operate the rail switch. Remember, we only have 5 minutes to do everything, so make sure that you're prepared. Okay, let's try practicing entering the codes. Enter 3 codes, and when you're finished, and you'll be finished. If you want to quit, hold down L1, which you don't want to do. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, code 2 is 4312. Okay, next 3222. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. But again, thankfully the button prompts stay here in this version of the game and does stay correspondent. I'm not so sure if it does with the original PlayStation 1 release. But if it doesn't, then the prompts will be here. So if anything else, just take a picture during the briefing with your smartphone and you should be fine. You got it? In the real thing, there's a strict time limit leading up to the switch point. Don't forget that. That's all. By the way, this model's nice, but the president's car looks kind of shabby. Why is that? Yeah, Renoa made it, that's why. We bought everything else at the gift store. Oh, I thought some kid made it. The paint job sucks, too. Yeah, kinda does. Oh, shut up. I made it look like that on purpose. It represents my hatred towards Stelling. Hatred, eh? Yeah, right. It's one of the ugliest things that I've seen in my life. You must really hate him. Ugh. Are you guys finished? Enough about the model. Can we go on with it now? Do you understand? Just say yes and you can move on. If there's something that completely confused you, you can have them explain either one part of the whole operation again or everything all over again. If you didn't get it the first time through. I'm going to say yes, I understand everything. Let's decide on the party. Gathering information is my specialty, sir. Ouch, my stomach. Useless. Every one of them. We're moving again. I'll go take a look. Okay. Talk to Watts when you're ready. The sooner the better. Indeed. So at this point, before you talk to Watts, make sure everyone in your party is equipped with a GF. So in this case, looks like Squirrel is the only one who has a GF equipped. So in this case, I'm gonna have to change you to Coincelot, GF, Draw, and Magic. Because in this boss fight, you can't turn the enemy into a card. So card would be completely useless. And as far as you equip Siren. And once again, same thing. Except item instead of magic. Because obvious reasons. Just in case something would go horribly wrong. Okay. Before we get started, we're going to go ahead and save progress one more time and get ready to start this operation. If I select the right slot, that is. Okay. Let me make sure everyone is good to go. Yes, yes, and yes. Just want to make sure I didn't have anything abnormal selected. And let me make sure everyone has some sort of move being learned at this point. Yes. Alright, we're ready. Have you seen the dummy of the president's car? Of the president, sir? If you haven't, please go take a look. If you like, it's like a piece of art. I know the kidnapping plan must be tough, but best of luck to you, sir. Are you ready? Not yet. Yeah, I know, I kind of lied a little bit. Oh, hello. New payment. Sweet. I'm the one who made the dummy president. It talks when you get close enough. I hope this will trick the guards. We're going to have the dummy hold a newspaper. That way his face is covered. No guard would dare look over the paper. After that, what we programmed him to say. I'm in a bad mood right now. If there is nothing in particular, I order you to leave immediately. That dummy looks real, huh? No one will ever realize it's a fake. Sounds fun. Okay, let's go ahead and start this operation for real. Here we go. Squall, over here. We'll catch up with the second escort soon. Let's get ready. We should time our jumps well after we catch up to finish them, save some time. For now we have exactly 5 minutes to complete the operation. Let's try to use every second. Here we go. And once again, if time runs out, it's game over. So make the most of the time that you have. Squall, over here. Activating the sound sensor, activating the temperature sensor. Huh? What the? It's not working. What's wrong? Maybe it's defective? It can't be broken. But the Sarge made it. Impossible. If I tell them I made it, I'll be fired. I never fail. Over a stinking sensor? No way. Activation confirmed. Activation confirmed. By the way, that section can be completely bypassed. This is the President's car. After we get across, we'll proceed with the first uncoupling. Funny thing is, as you're going about this, the timer will randomly disappear. Just whatever time is left upon the timer's disappearance will be the amount of time you have left to complete the operation. Sir, everything is in order, sir. You again? That's 27 times now. How many more times do you plan to disturb me with that meaningless report? Sir, I'm sorry, sir, but it's my duty, sir. It's hard to believe that anyone would put up with this nonsense. I guess it's none of my business. Dismissed. Sir, yes, sir. There goes next month's paycheck. How am I going to propose to her now? I'm going to have to put it off again. I wonder who that guy is. Sounds familiar. This is the first escort. We're going to uncouple this first. Like Watts said, there should be 2 guards on this car. Selfie and Zell, you guys keep an eye on the guards. Let us know early if you see them coming. Alright, I'll watch the blue guard. I'll take the red. The red guard is closer. Squall, you might want to keep an eye on him too. Hold down L1 to look in your left and release it to go back. Okay, are you ready to enter the codes? You remember everything, right? Yeah, I remember. We'll have to enter 3 codes to disable the circuit for this uncoupling. Okay, Squall, get the cable ready. Alright, here we go. The system to enter the code is below there. You can't miss it. Press down the directional button to go down. Come back up, press up. You won't be able to come up while you're entering the code, so be careful. Okay, let's do it. We have 4 minutes left. Squall, good luck, Squall. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. 3, 2, 2, 4. Okay, code 1 confirmed. 4331. Okay. Yo, the blue! Okay, so, piece of advice. If you see a blue guard heading your way, stop. Stop entering the codes and, wait. Are you freaking kidding me? God damn it. Huh? What happened, Squall? Ah, it's nothing. Basically, what happens is, if you happen to fail, you can choose one of 2 options. If you select, I failed, it's all over, then it's game over. If you select, it's nothing, then the timer will disappear again. You'll get some additional advice. And you'll also gain additional time, believe it or not. For each time you fail, you gain 1 additional minute on the timer. And there's actually a very special condition that you can meet depending on how many times you get detected by the guards. I'll be going over this after the operation is successful. Here's another way to deal with the guards. Slide down the cable as soon as both guards first patrolling by the door. You should enter 1 or at the most 2 codes to get back on the roof. This may seem time consuming, but it's the safest way. But remember, there's a time limit, so it's no good to play it too safe. Indeed. You got that, Squall? Yeah, I got it. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, let's do it. We have 5 minutes left. So like I said, we gain additional minutes for every time we get caught. 3133. Okay, code 1 confirmed. Again. Next code. 1213. Code 2. Okay, so like I said, wait for the blue guard to finish his patrol. As soon as he leaves your vicinity, scroll down. Are you freaking kidding me? I can never get this right. The timing of this is so damn sensitive. I swear. I was even having trouble during my practice run of this. Again, thankfully we get additional time. 3341. If there was a hard mode, then we would probably maintain the amount of time we have, or lose time. 2212. Okay. Alright, let's try this then. Wait a little bit longer. Maybe... There. Got it. 3313. Phew! Damn. Swall, this way. Here we go. The first uncoupling is completed. So now we just gotta move in the base and the dummy president car and then proceed onward to the next step. This is a lot more complicated than it seems. Trust me. And it's only gonna get worse. What should I do? I know he's not gonna like it, but it's my job. Sir, everything's in order, sir. Huh? He's not angry. Phew, that's strange. Oh, he's reading the paper. I wonder where he got it. What? Is there a problem? I'm in a bad mood right now. If there's nothing in particular, I order you to leave immediately. Sir, aye, sir. Yes, sir. You, don't just stand there. Go back to your station. Sir, yes, sir. There goes another paycheck. That's 2 in 1 day. What the heck? Is this the right train? The interior looks different. Looks shabbier. Maybe not. What am I gonna do? No ring, and now no more candlelight dinner. I'm never gonna be able to get married. I seriously wonder who he's talking about. This is the second escort. After this, we're home free. I think there are 2 guards on this car, too. Zell and Celsi are up ahead, working on uncoupling our train from theirs. So you're on your own this time. Watch your right side. To do this, hold down R1. Let's get this over with. You know how to enter codes. Of course, another reminder. We'll have to enter 5 codes to disable the circuit on this connection. Here we go. Are you ready? We have 6 minutes left. Here we go. Next, 2311. Okay, first code entered. Next, 4-2-1-1. Alright. 2 codes out there. We just need to wait a moment. Wait for this guy to move out of the way. Again with this! God damn it. If the guards are coming, don't take your time to enter the right code. You can mess up on purpose. Just get back up before they see you. It's a lot better than starting all over. Got it? Yeah, I got it. This stinks. Okay, we have 7 minutes now. Okay, 3-1-3-4. Okay, red guy's coming this time. 2-3-2-4. Okay. Nothing. Nothing happened. Okay, that's the 4th time I've been, identified. That's not good. We need to make it so, that doesn't keep happening. Okay, 2-3-2-3. Next is 4-2-2-3. There we go. 3-2-2-1. Okay, next is 1-1-1-2. Alright, code 4 confirmed. I'll get a chance on the last one. 2-2-3-1. Excellent. Well worth the risk. Sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit. Especially in time-sensitive objectives such as these. But there we go. Operation is basically complete. Now all we have left to do is just confront the president. And speak to him and ask him why the hell is he such a dictator? Why does he do these things? Does he do it for fun? Or did the Russians somehow tamper with the election? Who knows? Anyway, finally, we've waited so long for this encounter with Vinzer, whatever. Excellent, sir. Well done, sir. Super duper, sir. Just shut up. Well then. Leave the intelligence up to me, sir. Ow, ow, ouch. Again with the stomach thing. Excuse me. You three, tell me when you're ready to go. As soon as you're ready, we'll begin serious negotiations with the president. Serious negotiations? Better make sure my GF's equipped. No kidding. Make sure it's equipped for everyone before proceeding onward to the next part. Alright, I think we're good to go here, so let's perform one more save and get ready to confront the president and begin our negotiations. I have a feeling that things are going to go south really, really fast, so again, it's a good idea to be well prepared for anything and everything that the game has to throw at you. Ready? Yeah, let's go. Let's go punch a president in the face. President Delling, as long as you don't resist, you won't get hurt. And if I do resist, what would you do, young lady? Hello, Miss Biz. Thank you for the follow. Highly appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy your stay here. Oh dear. What's wrong? Boo-hoo. Too bad. I'm not the president. I'm what they call a body double. All these rumors about the many resistance groups in Timber. You pass along a little false information and they fall for it. How pathetic. Seems like there are always amateurs around here. Amateurs? Ah, my butt hurts from all this city, young lady. So what did you have in store for me had I resisted? Why don't you tell me? Young lady, quite amusing though, for being such amateurs. How dare you insult the president? The president of the United States of America, motherfucker. Here we go, time to fight the president. You fell for it. Ooh, well, the only thing we can draw from him at the time being is, cure. Kinda sucky, but oh well. Just gotta do what you gotta do. So, take the time to draw cure for some of your other supporting party members. Squall, at this point, doesn't really need cures right now, so, he's good to go. Ready to unleash the pain! Oh my, quite a strange way to attack. Rather than using his fists, he's attacking as if he was a zombie. Amusing, this is amusing! What a strange creature. Humans are so strange. Okay. Just gotta keep delivering on the pain as much as humanly possible. Let's show off Diablos. Kill the resistance. And let's also show off Siren. I don't think we managed to show her off. Well, then again, I think we did, but she only got one shot. Say hello to Dark Messenger. This is Diablos' attack. When Diablos appears, he appears in a ball of darkness as it seeps out from the sphere. Then Diablos uses the power of darkness and the power of Kingdom Hearts to grab this ball of darkness and slam jam a fool into the frickin' ground. With some really, really powerful gravitational magic. Only 70 damage though. That's something. Well, again, gravitational magic only deals percentage-based damage. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad. And boom, baby. Feel the power of thunder, baby. Oh dear. Looks like we killed the man. Or is he dead? Oh man. So, you show your true form, Mr. Trump. Here he is, the biggest douche in the universe. What the? The heck is that? Well, he's big, he's ugly, and he's cramping my style. Let's put him to bed. Forever. And put him back into the frickin' ground where he belongs. Also say hello to Siren. Our first GF that we managed to acquire from a boss. Unlike other bosses, Dueling's monstrous form does have some additional magic you can draw from. But for the most part, he doesn't really have very much. He has Berserk and Zombie. Whenever he uses the block technique, he casts some random status ailment onto a character. So in this case, he will cast Slow, and I think there's also a chance he can cast Blindness on an individual. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's how it works typically. And also Silence is a thing. If a character is silenced, they will not be able to use magic attacks or be able to summon their guardian force at all. Well, dang. Asuna, Cast, and Zell. Funny enough, despite casting spells from enemies, it's typically weaker than, say, casting the spell from the magic menu yourself. But Isuna is not one of those spells where it's weaker in comparison. You can still use it to yourself, use it on yourself or whoever is affected by it. Essentially, Isuna is like a free remedy. It cures all or most status ailments in the game. There are some status ailments that cannot be gotten rid of, and those are Doom as well as KO. So if someone is like dead or is cast Doom and are about to die, then unfortunately there's not really much you can do about that. You can revive a dead person by bringing them back with a Phoenix down or some sort of a revival magic spell of some sort. But other than that though, it's mostly... I don't even remember what I was going to say, but either way, here we are. Damn it, only 130. I think at one point during my practice run, I managed to score around 140 for an attack boost. But I haven't been able to replicate that result since. So, yeah, essentially the spells you can acquire from this enemy in particular are very, very powerful and useful spells. Just keep in mind, certain spells such as Zombie, this may be your only chance of, oh dear. Selfie is berserked. Whenever someone is berserked, they will attack their enemies mindlessly. So, until you cure them of their berserk status, they'll keep attacking no matter what. So as soon as their ATB gauge is filled up, they will keep going. They'll keep attacking no matter what happens. They can't do any sort of actions whatsoever other than just attack the entire time whenever someone is berserked. There is a way to cure them of their berserk status, but honestly, having them in the berserk state does have its benefits. And that is, when you're in the berserk state, your attack power increases quite a bit. But again, you do lose control of that character so long as they are berserked. So that is something to keep in mind. You never know, you may end up getting the finishing blow from a berserked user. So feel free to take advantage. Sometimes being berserked is kind of a good thing. But sometimes it's not as well, depending on the situation. Like if everyone's basically dead, and someone gets berserked, they can't revive their friends until they are cured of the berserk status themselves. And that, as they say, is that. That's one dead zombie. Completely stomped back into the frickin' grave, where it belongs. And we received some zombie powder. Awesome. Man, I can't believe the president was a fake. I can't believe we fell for it. I can't believe it's not butter. Info, sir. New info. It's big news. I found out the real reason why the president's here, sir. The president's going to the TV station. Security's super tight, sir. The TV station? Why in Timber? They can broadcast just as easily from Galbadia. Do you think the Dolet communication tower has anything to do with this? Good question. What's that? Dolet has a communication tower that can transmit and receive of radio waves. It had been abandoned for a while now, but the Galbadian army got it up and running yesterday. Oh, I get it. I don't get it. The only TV station that can handle broadcasts over the air is in Timber. Other stations use HD cable, which only supports online broadcasting. So, what's that supposed to mean? They're planning on using radio waves. This way, they can transmit images to regions without cable. I know that. What I want to know is, what's the president going to do to the broadcast? What's the president going to broadcast? Why use radio waves? There must be something they want to say to the whole world. What can it be? Everybody, love and peace! Are you sure you're not named Rex in a female, outfit? Like dressed as a girl? If I remember correctly, radio waves haven't been used in 17 years. It's been that long? Wouldn't it be wonderful if the first broadcast could be the Declaration of Timber's Independence? Hey, that might be possible. Let's come up with a plan then. Can you guys give us a minute? It's like, are you serious? Can't we go home now? What about our contract? Shouldn't we check it, Squall? That sounds like a good idea. It's worth checking and seeing what it's about. They call that a strategy meeting? No kidding. What's up with that? Oh, good timing. We've come up with a plan. Oh, good grief. Before we get into that, can I see your contract with our garden? Oh, sure. Okay. Here it is. Let's see what this is about. What's it say? Malum Garden, hereafter referred to as Party A, acknowledges the Forest House, hereafter referred to as Party B, as the hiring party. C, hereafter referred to as Party C, shall be dispatched upon signing of this contract. Party C shall operate under the supervision. The hell? I don't get it. Oh yeah, that one's pretty confusing. And it's also legal documentation, which is a common practice used with any sort of business agreement or partnership of any kind, especially with the multi-channel networks within the YouTube Partner Program and stuff of that nature. Even the YouTube Partner Program has that kind of wording within its terms of use and its contract when signing up for monetization on your YouTube channel, and basically any other monetization like features such as Super Chat and other monetization like features. Very common practice, and it's also very confusing. So honestly, it's not a bad idea to have a second pair of eyes to read over the contract or anything of the sort, so you can get a better bearings on the wording and the terminology used within the contract, so that way you know what you're getting yourself into. But if you're like me, and you don't really care, you just sign it anyway. Just don't sign anything that you will regret signing later, otherwise you'll turn into a human centipede. Definitely don't want to do that. When I told him I didn't understand, he gave me a different one. So this must be the simplified version. Sid is such a nice man. What's it say this time? To the Forest Owls. This seed deployment contract will last until Timber achieves independence. Please make good use of each seed member. I wish you the best with your objective. Please understand that this contract is an exception and no replacement of any seed members can be made. Alarm Garden Headmaster Sid Kramer. Until Timber's independence? That's so vague. Actually, that's pretty straightforward and clear. Hey, you're paid professionals, no complaining. Bullshit! We have every right to complain. Because we are paid professionals, damn it. Okay, let's decide on the parties. Gathering information is my specialty, sir. Ouch, my stomach. Useless. All of them. So, of the four of us, the ones who will be heading to the TV station will be Squall and Renoa, as well as one other party member, either Zell or Selfie. You can bring one or the other, and as I stated earlier, up to 3 party members can be active at one time. And that's the maximum that you're allowed. So, if you're planning on exchanging junctions, be sure to do this on the Switch screen. And once you have your lineup selected, go ahead and exit out of the screen and you'll be good to go. And as stated before, Renoa cannot be out of the party at all. She and Squall are the only ones who have to be in this party. So you only have a choice of bringing in either Zell or Selfie. That's it. Okay, we're good. Call on me anytime. Will do. You really should get that stomach thing sorted out, dude. The TV station, sir. It's quite close if you take the local train. But the local and trans-conditional trains have stopped running, sir. Nothing to worry about, sir. There must be something in town, someone in town who knows. Are you ready yet? Ready, sir? Not just yet. There's still something I kind of want to check. First off, GF. Make sure we have a good ability selected. So I think I'm going to have Efreet start learning Mag Rush, which is a pretty powerful command. As far as what that does, we'll find out once that's learned. I have a feeling the command works like this. It essentially gives you haste as well as berserk. And I think one other status ailment too, or status effect, something to that extent, not too sure. But Mag Rush is a pretty powerful command to learn and to unleash its true power. It's truly something magical. Hey, what is it? Xenocide 901. Nothing much. Welcome to the stream. We just recently completed the whole presidential kidnapping operation. That ended in a failure. And we've only gotten detected like 4 times throughout the entire endeavor. So anyway, there is a special reward that you can get, and that applies to your next paycheck. And yes, it is a very fun game, quite enjoyable. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Based on how many times you get detected, if you get detected less than a certain number of times, I believe it's less than 10 times, then you will receive a rank increase with your next paycheck. But if you get detected more than 10 times, then I believe nothing happens to your check and it remains the same. And if you get detected like roughly 20 times, I think, throughout the course of the entire thing, then your rank will go down. I think. Not too sure. I'd have to look up this information again on the Final Fantasy Wikia. Hey, don't you want to know what Renoa and Cypher know? How Renoa and Cypher know each other? I do, actually. I just joined the Forest House, so I don't really know everything yet. No one would tell me. Why is that? Mystery is killing me. The Forestals are, let's hear them out. Watson Zone's fathers founded the Forestals. Neat. Did you see the clipping on the board in the conference room? Anarchist Monthly used to write special reports about the president. I saw the guy who wrote for that magazine being taken away to prison. Being in prison for telling the truth, that's downright wrong and censorship. Yeah, that one. We just got finished that one not too long ago, so we're getting ready to head out to the TV station right now to see the president for ourselves. Also, Pet Pals Volume 2. And more humping dog action, because why not? Anyway, before we head off, let's, oh. By the way, acquiring the Pet Pal Volumes 1 and 2 is not enough. You have to read them. The first volume has a picture of a Siberian Husky. Let's see. Welcome to Pet Pals. We bring the latest pet news to dog lovers. Your dog learns a trick to damage enemies in this issue. Your dog comes to your rescue when you are in grave danger. It's called Angelo Strike. As you dog lovers already know, walk with your dog to help him learn this trick. Is Angelo a he or she? That I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a she. Alright, let's see what Pet Pals Volume 2 is. I believe this is a picture of the, it's either a pit bull or the American Bulldog. I'm pretty sure it's a pit bull. Have you ever wished your pet could rescue you in battle? This is just a trick for your dog to learn. Your dog finds and uses potions and other cures on a member who's near KO with this trick. It's called Angelo Recover. Very nice trick indeed. Indeed it is. More than you ever know. So again, you just gotta read the magazines, get the ability, and select the ability to have Angelo learn it. Again, you can have Angelo learn the ability as Renoa walks around. And after a certain point, Angelo will learn the trick. The TV station, sir? Yeah. Okay, we're ready now. Best of luck. Thanks, dude. A guy dressed as a cadet, gathering information. He was asking about the president's stay. I found it strange that a cadet would keep asking about the president. He was very polite and kept addressing me as Sir. I think I know who you're talking about. He was taking care of 3 suspicious-looking characters from Balam. I'll go question every teenager in the area. No, we can't just go up to anybody and... These are citizens. We can't inflict any... How dare they try to kidnap the president? Not only is it disrespectful to the president, but also to us Galbadian soldiers as well. I'll be sure to find them and throw their sad behinds in jail. Please, hear me out to the very end. No kidding, am I right? Wow, I can't believe we're about 3 hours into this session already. Say, I remember now, sir. I think the TV station is located behind a building called Timber Mechanics. Please head in that direction, sir. I hope you find it. What? Come on, the Galbadian soldiers are coming. Lots of guards patrolling the city now. Please be careful, sir. Seems like the hotel's not available either. Should you need to recover, use the Owl's Tear, sir. Heard it works wonders. I believe you can find it at the old man's house. I guess you won't be needing it anyway. They're all seeds. You'll be fine, right, sir? Hey! Don't leave me, sir! Now that I think about it, Watson really reminds me of Happy from Fairy Tale. Except he's not a flying cat. Or blue. Look at him. He's just so cute. My parents got me Georgie at this pet shop. And yet you hate this pet shop more than anything. What the hell's up with you, kid? Okay, let's check out the pet shop. See what they got. Well, they got basically GF recovery items such as G Potion, High Potion, G Returners, which we got plenty of. And we also have a pet house, which is just like the tents as well as cottages. Except these only work on GFs, so that's something to keep in mind. We also have Pet Pals Volume 3 and Volume 4 here. Only get one. Buying additional volumes here is just a waste of money. Buy one of each. That's it. That's all you need. Really. Okay, let's go ahead and read up on these new volumes. Volume 3. Not too sure what breed of dog this is. This looks like, almost kind of looks like one of those little itty-bitty bear cubs. Kind of. I don't know what the breed is, but it looks cute as a button. I love it. Research shows a relationship between the moon and your dog. Did you know your dog can use the power of the moon to help you? It's Invincible Moon. The moon's mysterious power can make all allies invincible. Do a lot of walking with your dog to help him learn this trick. And when they say a lot, they truly mean a lot. You're going to be working on this for quite a while. So if you want the best move in the game, make this your first priority. Alright, let's read Volume 4. And as far as what dog breed this is, this kind of looks like the Shiba Inu. You know, the Doge meme? Kind of looks like that breed. If we could get like a better view of maybe its tail, then maybe we would know for sure. But other than that, I'm not too sure. It does look like a Shiba Inu though. Anyway, Volume 4. Have you ever been KO'd by a monster? Even reviving doesn't help, because you get KO'd right back. Almost like this game predicted the goddamn future. To answer your desperate call for help, use Angelo Reverse. Your dog finds Phoenix Downs to revive KO'd party members in battle. Pretty useful ability to have for Angelo, that's for sure. Especially when you're down and out for quite some time. And you keep getting knocked down. And you try to get up again. And there's nothing that's ever going to keep you down. Okay, so any work you've done on a previous ability and you choose to do a new one, just like with GFs, the work is not wasted. Instead, the bar will just sit there so long as you're working on another ability. So we're going to start working on Invincible Moon because this does take the longest time to work on. Alright, so before we head out of here and head to our next objective, we do have some guards to fight. If you guys remember before in the last session, we fought these guys quite a bit. And they go down just as easily as ever. Yay! Sweet! And those guys cannot be turned into cards, by the way. I've tried. As you've probably seen in the last session if you were here last time. But, yeah. Looks like the trains have stopped running. Usually the local trains would be running here. A lot of hustle and bustle. But that's no longer the case since Galbadia came in and took over the town, pretty much. Better keep your eyes peeled. If you let one resistance member in here, your dear kids are, well, dead meat. We have to get to the TV station fast. I can't bear to watch them suffer like this. So I heard everyone's here supporting the resistance. You guys are such fools. Just imagine how much this place would thrive if you were loyal to us. This place is gonna be stuck in the backwoods forever. And you? Are you happy with your life? blindly following orders every day, doing things you probably don't believe in? So what if we're underdeveloped? We're not looking to thrive. All we want is to be able to stand on our own feet, to be independent and live accordingly to what we believe. You guys will probably never understand, having thrown away your pride and dignity. We're not the fools. You are. You're both dead. No! And Renault and company to the rescue. So in this battle, we'll be fighting 2 of the elite guards here. So, let's go ahead and get things started. Stock up and get ready to throw down the face down. Why am I bringing up Yu-Gi-Oh! In a Final Fantasy game? No clue. Anyway, these guys go down just like the rest. So anyway, earlier I've mentioned that it's not a good idea to use GFs throughout the majority of battles throughout the course of the game. And the reason why you should not use them outside of boss fights is... The reason why is because if you use your GFs to eliminate your enemies, then you will not gain any seed experience whatsoever. And that can be really detrimental towards achieving a high seed rank, or even maintaining your current rank. So even if you battle valiantly, if you rely too heavily on your GFs, then unfortunately your seed rank is going to suffer. Which would be really, really bad for being able to buy things, such as items, or even new weapons and equipment. Trust me, you definitely want to keep these things in mind as you go about this game. Thank you for your help. I got a little carried away. We appreciate your help, but we can't let you through here. I'm sorry. It's okay. As long as you're safe along with your family, that's all that matters. By the way, I think that battle is completely optional, but I could be wrong. Achoo! I'm allergic to cats. My daughter loves them. What am I to do? I do not know for sure, but, I thankfully don't have that sort of, situation here. Of course, we have another battle in our hands. Fantastic. Can't believe we're over 3 hours into this session. We still have quite a bit left to do, but I think I'm going to get ready to call it quits here for tonight. So once we reach the next save point, we'll call it a stream. That way we can, that way I can just take care of taking my medicine and get ready for bed, because as you can see, I'm not exactly bed ready yet. If you know what I mean. Just saying, now's a good time as any to get ready to go to sleep. Oh, nice! Diablos has finished learning Encounter Half. So because of that, Encounter None is available for Diablos to learn. Learn this. Make this a priority. Priority number 1. Trust me. Just saying, you will thank me later. Especially with some of the optional things that we can do. Just saying. Anywho, let's check out the weapon shop. Not really much here, unfortunately, because we haven't found any additional Weapon Monthly magazines. So, that kind of stinks. Okay, let's go ahead and clean up this mess, nice and quick. I'm so not used to drawing magic with a selfie other than scans. Because in my practice playthrough, acquired so many spells for Selfie that she's basically all filled up when it comes to this soldier. But other than that, though, not much else has changed between the main playthrough as well as the practice run. Speaking of which, earlier I mentioned that it is possible to destroy the mechanized spider as you make your escape back to the shore in Doling City. Well, if you manage to defeat it, you'll not only get a very powerful item for early game, but you'll also get a massive bonus and essentially a rank increase. So, yeah. Whatever rank you would have received normally, you get one rank higher. So that's pretty neat. And I essentially achieved almost a perfect score, but because I ran into the spider tank twice on the bridge, or more or less on the bridge, heading into the main part of the city, that's what clicked into me. You know what, I'm just going to try destroying this thing and see what happens. See if I can do it. So, with a lot of perseverance and a lot of pushing, I managed to do it. Excuse me. This model looks really good. Quite some craftsmanship. Don't you think? Better than Manila's. That's so mean. I worked really hard on mine. Just kidding. When someone says they're kidding, it's usually half true. Squall? Oh, it's just a saying, you know. I'm sorry. That's pretty funny. My father made it. It's strange to be praised for it. Thanks. You're welcome. Oh, Renella, I'm sorry. You can't stay here tonight. Can't say this out loud, but there are a bunch of roughnecks from Galbadia staying here tonight. I understand. Thanks, Miss DeMarco. Oh, Renoa, how long have we known each other? Call me Francisca. I'm behind you all the way. Good luck. Thanks, dude. Let's try going in. Welcome. Reservations are taken at the counter. Katie gets mad if you go in without paying. Funny because it's actually true. Shut up. I meant to go over here to the save point. So, with that being said, we're going to call it a night here. This is General Snivy with the Final Fantasy VIII playthrough. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you were able to attend the live stream live, thank you for attending. In the next session, we are going to go even deeper into this city of Timber, head to the radio station, and see what stories and crazy shenanigans unfold. So, again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time for when we head deeper into the mouth of the beast. See you all then.